G'day, my name's Robb Cox. I'm a cinematographer director from Sydney, Australia. We've got some tricks over here that I want to show you. So we're in Wollongong today and we're in a factory. The client that we're shooting for runs a go-kart racing team. And we basically did a nice interview here with him. For a key light today, we used the VL300. That's not even turned right up. I think that's only on about 30%. We've also used the Godox softbox here, which is the P90L, nice and soft. We don't have the grid on the front at the moment, but it does come with a grid. And yeah, I just put the scrim material in front just to really soften it up, just to give it a nice kind of cinematic soft look. We used the little Godox LEDs on the floor. These ones are great. So we've got the Godox R1 we're using in blue mode to make the background blue. These are the LC500Rs, and these ones are fantastic. You can change the colour of them. You've got all sorts of different modes here. It's an RGB light stick. It's fantastic. They're really powerful and they've lit up this whole area, as you can see. You can light all sorts of different stuff. So I've used two of these in the background. I've used some R1s. And then up here with a spotlight attachment on the end, I've got a VL300, which is a 300 watt LED. And I've basically just focused that on the go-kart. That sat in the background behind our main talent and was lit up by a spotlight. We used a little bit of smoke in here. This is just a nice creative way to make an interview look a little bit interesting. And I think it's a really pleasing look. So all in all, it just makes, we've lit the background blue. I messed a little bit with the color balance in the camera. The main camera was a C300 Mark II Canon. The second camera was a red Scarlet weapon. Shot them both in 5K and 4K. Being able to use these Godox lights in here, they've got so much punch, was just great. The VL300s are fantastic. They've got lots of power. You can power them with VLOC batteries if you want to. We just powered them off the mains today. Check them out online. They're really, really well priced. They work fantastic. Never had a problem with Godox. I've got a couple of Godox heads in my car that I've been using for the last 3 years, which are the 200 watt models, and they're great. Godox on interviews, fantastic stuff.
Driver trainer versus worker dad. Well, pretty much every father-son relationship I've come across, the son doesn't agree with the dad and the dad doesn't agree with the son. It's pretty much boils down to that. I personally don't want to do it with my son. Only for the fact of, I don't want to argue because it's dad and dad never knows. It doesn't matter how good they are at what they do. Realistically, I don't know what it's bred into us, but it seems to be dad doesn't know. So it ends up quite tense. And for me, you go away karting, families go away karting to enjoy themselves. Yes, they want to get results, but you want to enjoy yourself. And it's not fun if you're arguing the whole time. So I probably, as a driver training and coach, I've got more knowledge than most fathers. So yeah, that makes sense. But the biggest thing is that the drivers listen to me. And a lot of the time with dad, they could be saying the same thing and they just don't want to listen. It's not they don't listen, they don't want to, flat out don't want to. And also with a coach, you can phrase it differently. Like with a lot of my drivers, if they don't get it the first way I explain it, there's some that I explain it 10 different ways. And the other thing is that dad may not have sat in a go-kart before. He doesn't have that experience level. I've trained state, national, world champions. In a nutshell, dad and driver, they're too close. The emotion's there, it's raw, and what they say might be right, but the kid doesn't want to hear it. With me, I don't have that emotional side. Yeah, I want them to get the result, but I can say something that they may not like to hear, but they've got to listen because that's the way it is. And in the end, if you don't like it, don't listen, but don't complain when you don't get the result.